Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am doing the Belle starter home speed build. So if you're interested in this build, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. So the reason why this is called Belle, not Belle A, is because I'm trying to be funny and I think the roofing looks a bit like a bell, and so I was trying to be punny. And so yeah, anyways, sorry about that, but but yeah, so this is another starter home. So it's about like 18,000 simoleons, a little bit less, and it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home on a 20 by 15 lot, and this only took me about an hour and a half to make. So it really didn't take that long, and I actually had a lot more fun building than I thought I would. Like, for the past couple months, I've been talking about how, it just kind of in passing about how I feel like I can't build starter homes, I can't build base game only stuff, but I actually built a starter home, and I actually built a base game home, which I'm not quite sure when that'll be going up, but I'm actually pretty proud of this one. I mean, the interior, not super proud of, but it's a starter home, so I don't know. But anyways, so the reason why you're getting this, I had actually originally planned on showing this really fantastic vampire themed build, but unfortunately I just started my new job and it actually involves a lot of homework, so I wasn't able to get to it. I wasn't even, it's not even done yet. I wanted it to be done and ready to show you guys, but it's not even done yet. But yeah, so you're getting this instead, so I hope you like it. I mean, my last starter on the gallery is almost at 1,000 downloads, which is pretty crazy for a starter for me. I've had a couple of my really big builds get that high, but this one just exploded, so I'm okay guys, okay. But yeah, so I thought, since I don't have a huge amount of time, I would throw up another starter build for you guys. But yeah, hopefully next week. It's actually kind of funny. So I need to be trained for my job, which is why I have all this homework and whatnot. And so I actually start doing my job next week. It's just been training up until now, and so then I'm going to shadow, and then I'm going to try and kind of start doing my job, and then my trainer is going on vacation, so I have the rest of the week off, which is a little obnoxious from just a hours standpoint, but anyways, I should have more time to get stuff ready. But as you can see, I kind of skipped through laying out this house because it took me a ridiculous amount of time to finally decide on a layout, and that is because I definitely built this house to look cute from the outside, and not to be super functional on the inside. So that was a mistake, but I think it kind of worked out. I mean, I ended up with this ginormous front room hallway, and so I ended up putting a easel in there and a desk, but it's kind of weird, but yeah. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. Sorry, I'm so coffee. I'm not, but then I start talking and then I get all phlegmy and it's gross, and I'm sorry. But yeah, so I definitely struggled more once it came to the interior of this build, and I feel like it would have been a lot cuter on the inside if it hadn't have been a starter. I definitely would have picked different furniture. I would have made it a lot, I would have picked a better color scheme, but yeah. And so this, actually, I built this quite a while before Vampire Stuff Pack came out, hence me being able to actually get it up there, and get it out there for you guys. But yeah, so this build was actually inspired by a build that I think it was probably one of the first builds I downloaded off of the gallery. And so it had pretty much this roofing, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I'm so coffee like this, but it had the bell curve, and I looked back and I couldn't find it in my save folder, so that was a little unfortunate. It would have been cool to share that with you guys, but it was so long ago, it was years ago, relatively soon after The Sims came out. And The Sims 4, I mean. And even then, I think it was actually a ripoff of the original person's build, but I didn't realize that at the time. And then when I like went to go look at it because I loved it so much, I was kind of like investigating to see their other stuff. I realized it was actually a ripoff, but they didn't say who the original artist. Anyways, so this is definitely inspired by that, and so I've been really getting into roofing lately. Like, if you saw my last starter home build, the roofing on that was like pretty wild, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, and so I'm really proud of it. Even though I didn't come up with it, I just made it like I had a picture referencing I looked at. But then also the build before that, the asymmetrical family home, I definitely went really crazy with the roofing, and I just had a lot of fun. And the vampire build that I'm currently working on for you guys also has some pretty crazy roofing, and it's just kind of like I've just been really into it. I've just been having a lot of fun sort of experimenting with it. But yeah, the downside of that though is there's definitely some clipping in this build with the roofing, and I've even seen that on EA made builds, and so I tried to change the trim to see if that helped at all. It didn't, and so I am really sorry about that. It is super obnoxious, and I apologize. I managed to take like a screenshot without the roofing in there, but it's just really mean. I'm really frustrated by it, but oh well, it's cute. And I mean, the reason why it looks like that is because I actually cut up the roof into segments so that it wouldn't completely clip through the window. But yeah, so I blame that on the game dynamic and not on me, but you can also blame it on me if you want to. I mean, but yeah, so here I think I am trying to get in, a lot of the essentials before I really started getting into decorating it. I think that was a while ago. I think I'm actually starting to decorate it now. But I definitely ran into budgetary concerns. Like, I don't know, I didn't mention this on my last build. I meant to, but it was the same for this build too with the starters. I put stuff down and then I run out of money, and so I try and find stuff that I can take away. And then I take away stuff, and then I put more stuff in because I can't stand how barren it looks. So, like, I'll take out a really expensive table, and then I'll put in a cheaper table, and then I'll put in a potted plant. And I'm just kind of like, but you need this money for other things. You don't need a potted plant. But inside my head, I'm just like, but it needs a potted plant. Like, the world is going to end if it doesn't have a potted plant. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but oh my goodness, my boyfriend knows how much I love my clutter, and so he laughed at me while I was building this. No, in a fun way. But yeah, that desk thing, I am very confused by it. So there's a table that looks like that, and there's a desk. And the desk is different than the table because it has a sort of backsplash almost. It's really tiny, and it has a backsplash, and it's colored. And I didn't know that for the longest time, and I was so confused. Like, I changed the swatch, and I wouldn't see a change in color because the desk was always facing against the wall. Like, the color part was always facing against the wall, and so I never understood why the swatch said it had so many colors. And I think it's the dumbest thing. Like, I didn't find that out until I looked at it was like a sort of idea board for the Sims base game stuff, like there's some artwork, and I saw that and I was like, wait a second, that's where the color comes from, but it's facing the wrong way, so you can never see it. And I think it's the most like annoying thing. Like, they give us all these swatches on an object where you can't even see the color changes, but there are objects like some of the windows that really need other swatches, and they're just not. And so I don't know. It's a pet peeve. It's been a pet peeve for me since I found it out. Like, since the very first time I got that and I tried to test the colors, I've been annoyed with it. And then when I figured out why I couldn't see the colors because it was on the back, I got even more annoyed with it. But anyways, here I'm taking some stuff away, and I really wish I hadn't taken as much as I did. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not very pleased at all with how the interior of this build turned out. There are no curtains, there's no clutter. I mean, like, there's no clutter, yeah, but there's no curtains, like, there's no wall decor. Like, it's just a really sad place. But it's cheaper, and there is a lot of room for expansion. And so I thought that was nice. I feel like this is a really good starter home because you could easily delete a lot of the furniture and get newer and better objects. And so I really, really did enjoy that about it, even though it meant that it made me cry on the inside. Not really, but I mean, even the kitchen has no clutter. No clutter. What is a kitchen without clutter? But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to give me a like, a comment, and subscribe, especially if you're interested in being notified as to when my next build is. Yeah, I put in one tree here. Just one, nothing else. Oh, I put in some grass. Oh, and some little flowers. They're not actually flowers, but anyways. The screenshots are coming up really, really soon. And I hope that you guys are all having a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!